Welcome back to the Roundtable. I'm RetroNemo, and this is every Christmas special reviewed. Today's special, the infamous classic that is Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. I'm totally gonna date myself here, but it's sad to see that there's a world now where people just don't know this special. That's obviously because they haven't aired it in recent years, but back in the day, this trip of a holiday special would air constantly during the holiday season. It was one of those classic Cartoon Network season specials like Scary Godmother. They would just air them annually all the time. Anyways, the entire special itself is based off of a novelty Christmas song by Randy Brooks. I'm sure you've probably heard it. Maybe you didn't want to hear it, but you totally did hear it. The fact that an entire film is based off of a song shows the obvious cash grab that it was. As for the quality of the special, well...
Grandma got run over by a reindeer, all right. And as incredible as that was, it almost put an end to Christmas. The way I see it, you can divide the world into two groups. People who like fruitcake and all the rest of us.
As someone who watched it as a child, this movie has a special place in my heart, and I'll always love it. As a critic, however, it's one of the most laughably bad, awkward, bizarre Christmas specials I have ever watched, period. So let's get into what happens, I guess. Jake Spankenheimer, yes, that's his real name, and yes, I want to know who's responsible so I can... Jake Spankenheimer, yes, that's his real name, is your average little boy who's got that good old Christmas spirit in him. Unlike the rest of his family, who are too busy buying fake blow-up Christmas trees and spending all their time being a teenager to really give a care about any of the holidays, Jake's only outlet for his Christmas energy is his grandma, who loves just about all of Christmas and is also the most wholesome person who has ever existed ever.
No money, no merchandise.
No way! Your credit is always good here, Martha. Why, you just stop by when you get your next paycheck.
I feel like someone could kill her and she'd come back as a ghost and make him a chicken pot pie or something. It also helps that she owns an entire goddamn Christmas store, or at least I think it's a Christmas store. They only ever refer to it as Grandma's shop and describe it as selling all of the holiday goodies. Shelves just have a weird mix of plates, teddy bear. What is this store selling? Grandma and her family love the store and Christmas itself, but big bad cousin Mel is here, and she's greedy and attractive, but ugly as a person. She wants more than ever to be rich and sees her opportunity in selling the store to this rich white dude who I don't know his name, but I also know it doesn't matter. He wants to sell the store to build his big bad capitalist Christmas trap, but Grandma, being a literal angel, does not sell it. So cousin Mel puts her grandmaster plan into action. See, while Grandma is making one of her world famous fruitcakes, and yes, there is a musical number on it.
One's enough to give the whole state of Kentucky a great big belly.
Cousin Mel straight up roofies her with this weird vial thing.
Good night, Jake.
Music is starting. You know this shit's about to go down. Grandma heads out, and before she knows it, she's getting plowed by the big jolly man himself. That is... that sounds so bad. I don't know how I didn't proof check that. Jake watches all of this from his window, which was probably pretty traumatic for him. I mean, never meet your heroes, I guess. Jake runs down to tell them all about it, but none of the family believes him. Okay, like, I get it. He sounds kind of crazy saying Santa was here, but they kind of just brush it off too easily. I mean, he's literally telling them that Grandma is hurt, and their response is, "Oh, Jake, going on again about Santa and magic. That puberty sure is crazy." They call the police, who don't arrive until the next morning because, you know, I'm sure valid police reasons. But at that point, all that's left is just the outline of her body, hoof marks, her belongings, and a genuine DNA sample. Not nearly enough to figure out what happened. Now, this is the point where the movie gets really depressing, beyond just the surface level. Like, their grandma goes missing, the characters start dressing black, and then suddenly they do this crazy time skip to next year where grandma still isn't there. This means their grandma's basically been dead for an entire year. They literally lost a family member, and yet none of them seem that sad. Every time Jake brings her up, they respond with, "Stop looking, you're crazy, Jake, stop that darn nonsense." Like, your grandma is literally gone, and you're gonna be mean to him for trying to find her? Do you even want to see her? You need to act more sad. This is a genuine big deal. This bothers me.
I have till the end of the week to stop Cousin Mel from selling Grandma's store.
Give it up.
Oh, real quick, I just want to point out during this scene that there's no toes on her foot. Okay, absolutely none. Good talk. Meanwhile, their evil cousin is about to sell the shop to Mr. Business after getting their grandpa to sign off willingly. He does a whole musical number about his wife in heaven. Like, holy shit, dude, your wife's gone. Why are you so cool about this? I think the Spankenheimer family is legitimately made up by sociopaths, I swear. Jake, desperate to find his grandma, tries his last and only option. Literally emailing Santa Claus. He turns on his computer and types in the address and emails Santa Claus. What? This is a thing? Did this exist the entire time? It was this easy to get in contact with Santa, and this boy waited a whole year to try it? Where was he looking? Milk cartons? That's dumb. Santa's got an email. Email Santa. It gets weirder. The North Pole responds, bringing him to the North Pole where Grandma has been this entire time. Shocker. But the one problem is she can't seem to remember anything. Maybe she has dementia. I don't know. There's no time to fix that. They desperately bring her to the big business building so that she can call off the deal selling the store. But she ends up getting willingly kidnapped by Mel and her evil lawyer, who they introduced earlier, but I didn't mention. Her name's like Slime. She's bad. They keep her locked away in a scary saw cabin in the middle of the woods where they plot their next monetary ruse. Suing Santa. Suing Santa Claus, who, mind you, before, they didn't acknowledge his existence. In fact, they made fun of anyone who mentioned it.
And that's what's called an advanced case of Santa Claus's real syndrome.
Now they're ready for a whole lawsuit against him. All right, good game. What follows is the worst musical number in the history of maybe ever. I won't talk about it. I'll just play a brief clip to show that it's true horror.
No pants aloneness. Grandpa's gonna sue the pants off the Santa. He knows the law is on his side.
Back to the story. Luckily, Jake and the Keebler elf get Grandma back, and through their magic powers of her fruitcake, she regains her memories. There's no chance of any of this making any more sense. We've lost all hope of a conceivable plot. Santa has an email address. I'm done. While all of this is happening, a legitimate court case against Santa is happening in the background. I'm getting some real B-movie vibes here, like, oh my gosh. But when all seems lost, Jake and Grandma burst in and save Santa from imprisonment. The judge rules, and I quote here, that it couldn't have been a kidnapping because Grandma is here, which makes absolutely no sense, like, legally. Sure, Santa's nice and helped her and put her in her cabin for free, but like, she still took her away from her family for an entire year. They started wearing black. You know they thought she was dead. Why couldn't Santa just ho her down to a hospital and drop her in a bed? That seems like way easier. And I don't know, it's almost over. Cousin Mel goes to jail as she's the real villain, and it looks like everything's gonna be okay. Until Grandma pulls out the wrong fruitcake again and gets hit again. But they don't care. This shit's over. Good night. Thanks for watching. See you next year. Okay, we're like halfway through editing here, and we just figured out something very odd about this special. The voice cast is actually super confusing. So, Austin Buck, the big bad business guy's voice, may sound familiar to you. That's because he's actually voiced by the legendary Cam Clark, the voice actor behind Leonardo and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, as well as voice appearances in Big Hero 6 and Hotel Transylvania. But you probably wouldn't have known that. That's because for this movie, he didn't use his real name in the credits. He used an alias. That's right, in this movie, he is not credited as Cam Clark, but instead a person named James Flinders. Now, James Flinders doesn't exist. He's a fake name used by Cam, seemingly so that his real name wasn't attached to the project. That's right, Cam Clark had such little faith in the critical reception of this Christmas classic that he literally used a fake name so his real one wasn't tied to it. I don't think he wanted anyone to know he was in this movie. What's even crazier is that he may not be the only person who did this. The person who did the dad's voice is completely uncredited, which seems a little bit shady. Gets stranger when you realize that the dad sounds a shocking bit like Freddy from the Scooby-Doo franchise.
Careful, Grandma. Don't drink too much eggnog without your medication.
By the way, what were you doing out there in the middle of the desert yesterday?
Now, this is speculation, especially since the Scooby-Doo cast is changing constantly. Judging by the time frame, however, if it was Freddy's voice actor, it would most likely be Frank Welker, since he was the voice actor for Fred at the time. Again, this is all speculation, but still, this whole thing is just crazy. To recap, this entire special is hilariously bad. If you want something to laugh at this Christmas, I definitely recommend it 100%. It's one of those so bad it's good sort of movies, and when you have the nostalgic factor playing in, you'll love it. The outrageous plot of Santa getting sued and the dark reality of the entire thing when you take a step back and look at it all gives it just an extra level of hilarity. Sure, the grandpa lost his wife, but you know, he's gonna sing about her dating Elvis in heaven. Maybe that's just how he copes. No matter how bad it is though, this special is a serious classic, and I'm sure it has a super special place in a lot of people's hearts. Seriously hope Cartoon Network starts airing it again soon, but if not, it's online, you can hunt it down. I seriously recommend this special. But anyways, as always, what did you guys think? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you even watch it? Let us know in the comments down below. If you want more Roundtable, tweet to me at RetroNemo or the channel at Roundtable Vids with our Instagram and Facebook under the same name. Check out our Snapchat, Roundtable YT, for little goofs we capture throughout the day. If you're feeling generous, consider supporting us on Patreon. And if you're feeling extra social, check out our Discord and Amino app. If you want some fresh clothes with reasonable prices, check out the Roundtable store. Look at the RetroNemo RetroNemo merch. I'm not biased, I promise. I have a personal channel. It's just called RetroNemo. I'm trying to upload there weekly. A little plug there. If you like the video, give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the Roundtable for more great cartoon content. Hit that notification bell to join our notification squad. I'm RetroNemo. This has been every Christmas special reviewed, and I'll see you guys next time.